Bishop, it's been an amazing day and an amazing journey for you. People from all across the diaspora came out to St. Paul's Cathedral today for your ordination, and everybody's just so immensely proud of you. Now, your journey began in Jamaica.
It
Tell
did.
me about your growing up there. Where were you born and all of that good stuff?
Okay. Well, I refer to myself as a cradle Anglican because I was baptized less than 4 months old at the parish church of St. James in Montego Bay.
Really?
And ever since I've had a real connection with faith. The family worshipped, but it wasn't just that the family worshipped. One of the things that I say regularly is that I didn't learn my theology at theological college. I learned my theology in the community because there you had people with such a trust and a faith in God that you would hear them expressing it. So they would say, "In God me trust," and they did trust Him. So there would be no food or nothing, but no one was going to bed without food. And this sense of whatever God will, if it's God's will, it will happen. So I grew up with a sense that God was real in the lives of these people. They knew Him, and through their knowledge of Him, I began to learn about this God who could be trusted, this God who cared, and this God who loved me. And that was the beginning, as it were, of my faith journey to the place where I am now. I should say also, growing up in Montego Bay, I went to Albion School. And Albion all-age school as it was then. And even my high school, Montego Bay High School, I discovered that we had teachers who were not just, "I'm going to teach my subject and that's it, I'm going." They were interested in our lives. They wanted us to be the kind of men and women who did something with our lives. So they had a pride about teaching us, and they wanted us, whether by osmosis or in real terms, to accept not just the knowledge of their subject area, but also about deportment, about how we lived with one another. So those were very formative times for me. And I'm ever so grateful that I was lucky enough to be born and brought up in Jamaica.
Now, tell me about Montego Bay High School. What was that like for you?
Well,
Because a lot of people from Montego Bay High School are very proud of you.
Oh, yes. Montego, I passed the 11 plus exam to go to Montego Bay High School. And at the time you had Montego Bay High School, Mount Alvernia High School as two of the sort of main rivaled schools that did well. And I went to Montego Bay High School with its gray uniform, with its little badge that said "Esse non vedere." Again, for me, I'm still in touch with some of the teachers who taught me back then, because they were not just, "This is my subject, it's maths, and I'm only here to teach you maths." They were really interested in you. And that is important. And so that has helped me in my ministry today. I'm not just doing a job. I'm actually interested in people's lives and genuinely want to journey with them along their path.
What were your favorite subjects at school?
Oh, I think favorite subject had to be English literature. I loved poetry and plays and just reading. I was a voracious reader. I would read, I went to the library in Montego Bay without any adult supervision. I was at school finished. I took myself into Montego Bay, went to the library, signed up, and became a member of the library. I would, order books, get books out, and within days those books were finished. We were allowed 2, and then eventually we were allowed 4. I would read them within a week, and I'd be back again to renew my books.
Wow.
So that I was much stronger on the arts than I was with maths. And
I know
sciences.
Montego Bay High School taught Latin. Did you do some Latin?
No, I didn't do Latin. I don't think they did it when I was there.
Oh, okay.
So it's before my time.
Right. Now, how old were you when you migrated?
I came here when I was 18.
So you'd completed
I had
Montego Bay
completed
High
Montego
School.
Bay High School, worked for a year as a pre-trained teacher.
Really? Where at?
Up in the hills now, in St. James. It will come back to me. It was way up in St. James in the hills that I did that for a year. Yeah.
And once you got here, we know you studied in Birmingham.
I did, when I came here, I first trained to be an evangelist. So that college was in Blackheath, which is southeast London. I did 3 years there. Then I went back to Jamaica, worked, and then eventually came back. And it was during the time that I came back that I did my degree at Birmingham University.
Now, since then, a lot of fascinating things have happened in your world. You've been at Westminster Abbey, where I did Evensong last night.
Okay.
You've had a relationship with the Queen. You've had a relationship with the House of Commons. Tell me about all of these fascinating things.
You know, it's you're in the role as a priest, and you're there to serve the people. And I was looking for a new job because I felt that I had done, 11 years in Hackney, and that I'd carried them as far as I could, and that perhaps they needed a change and I needed a change. So I began looking for what the next role might be. And I was actually in Jamaica when my husband contacted me to say that there's a job going at the Abbey. And I thought, I don't know. I want to do more than walk around wearing red robes. I wanted something gritty, in other words, somewhere where I felt that I was making a difference. And never thought anything else of it again until 2 other priests said, have you seen that job going? I think you should. So I looked a bit more deeply at it. And that's when I discovered the role that said chaplain to the Speaker of the House of Commons. I got very excited because I felt, yes, faith should be in the public square. It's not private, And in England in particular, we like to think of faith as being private. So that's what got me moving into that.
What were some of the things that you do in that role?
Yes. Every day when the House sits, I lead them in prayers at the start of their agenda. I'm actually on the agenda for prayers every day when they sit. I don't do prayers in the Lords. I didn't do prayers there because they have the bishops in the Lords, and so they would take turns doing their own prayers. But we have a beautiful chapel, and I would do weddings and baptisms at weekend, services of Holy Communion, and other services like memorials, etc. So it's really like having a parish, an ordinary parish church, where you're ministering to the people, only that this particular community, in terms of Parliament, or all those on the parliamentary estate, are either parliamentarians of both houses, security staff, catering staff, or building works and cleaning staff. So you're actually ministering to everyone.
And what about Buckingham Palace? Tell me about that journey.
In 2007, I had a letter which said the Queen would like to appoint me to be one of her chaplains. I did think that someone was playing a joke on me, but no, they weren't, and it was real. And actually, shortly after that, within days of that notice coming out, I was invited to have a sleepover, I call it, at Windsor Castle, and very, very special. As a chaplain to the Queen, she has a number of private chapels, and we take turns leading services or preaching in those chapels. Doesn't matter who is there, whether a member of the royal family is there or not, services are held there, so we're on duty for those. And we also represent Her Majesty in the wider community as her chaplains.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, how does it feel being the Bishop of Dover?
Well, it is a sort of a big miracle. I never expected that it would happen. People have been saying it for a long time, but no one should really think I am and I should be. I think it is a role that you are called to. And so they actually asked me recently in the Canterbury Diocese, where Dover is, why did you choose us? And my response to them is, I didn't choose you, you chose me. And it's good to go somewhere where people have chosen you and said, we want you to come and minister, to serve us, to be our chief pastor, as it were, in the Diocese of Canterbury. So although my title is as Suffragan Bishop of Dover, the role that I will be conducting will be a diocesan role, because at my installation at the end of this month, the Archbishop signs a deed and hands over, makes a declaration handing over his responsibilities as diocesan bishop to me. So I will be looking after the whole Diocese of Canterbury.
Okay, excellent. Well, good luck. And one more thing before you go. What are your favorite hymns? I know Kellen Byrne was sure I was going to ask you this.
Okay. Favorite hymns, I would have to say, "Oh Jesus, I Have Promised." That has got to be one of my favorites.
Where did you first connect with that? At school?
When I was a little girl. When I was a little girl in church in Glendevon, growing up in Glendevon in the church there. It's a beautiful hymn. It speaks of commitment. It speaks of focus. Let me see your footprints, and I want to plant my own feet in them. It's very moving. Today we also sang, "Take my life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to thee." Very, very special, deeply so.
The God of Abraham praise.
The God of Abraham praise. Strong, powerful. But I was moved to tears today in particular by the "Come Holy Ghost, our souls inspire, enlighten with celestial fire."
Yes.
And I happen to sing throughout the day, wherever I am. I'm walking down the road, I'm singing. And there is someone once said that to sing is to pray twice.
Wow.
So music, I don't read music. My husband and my children, they're musical, but I appreciate it, and I love to sing.
I was surprised to see an American Negro spiritual on the program today.
Oh, yes.
How did that come about?
I basically said, I need this service to reflect the fact that I am here.
Okay.
Yes, and I chose.
Are you familiar with the new CPWI, the new Caribbean hymnal?
I am not that familiar with it, but I gather it's got some good stuff in it.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm looking forward to exploring it.
Excellent. Well, Bishop, congratulations. What an amazing day it was. I am very happy that I could have been here to share this moment, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Have a blessing.
Thanks.